Welcome to the show. My guest is Julie. Julie, you called the show. Why are you here?
Well, my boyfriend of 2 years, I have suspicions he's cheating on me.
And why do you think he's cheating on you?
Well, I found condoms in his car, I found clothes in his car, and Steve, there's no reason for me to use condoms. I've had a tubal. There's no reason whatsoever.
Does he use them with you?
No. And he says he puts milk in them, puts them in people's pockets at work, you know.
He puts milk in them?
You know, plays jokes on his friends. I found underwear, I found an ID.
His underwear
No.
or
No.
women's underwear?
Women's.
In the
he
car?
says they're mine. They're too small. They're not mine.
So he says, you find women underwear and he goes, honey, they're yours.
Yeah, you bought those a week ago. No, I didn't.
And how long you been with this guy?
I've been with him for 2 years.
2 years, and the relationship was?
Great, until my daughter was
And
born.
It was great, you had a daughter, and then that changed.
Right.
And why do you think that changed?
I don't know. Since she's been born, we haven't slept together in a month.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
Right. You know, I've talked to him about it. I'm like, you know, hey, you know, let's work this out. You know, I'm asking you, just be truthful with me. You know, tell me, you know, if you're doing it, fine. You know, I can probably forgive you.
So you
know.
confronted him and said, hey,
Right.
are you cheating on me?
I went down as far as to lay down in his lap on the couch, watch a movie, you know, maybe start, you know, a little sexual activity, and smelled other women on him.
And you still love him?
Oh, yes.
And
very
you still
much.
want to be with him?
Yes.
Even if he's cheated on you?
If he's cheated like once, I could probably forgive him, you know.
Are you faithful?
Oh, yes.
And
At
so-
one point in time, we were engaged, but when I was pregnant.
And then why did you break the engagement? I would think a
I
daughter
didn't.
would.
He did.
But what reason did he give you for
He
that?
didn't.
He just said the engagement's off?
I'm still married.
Oh, well, that's the reason
but
why.
my divorce, I have filed for divorce. You know, we're going through the divorce, all that.
How long have you been married?
I've been married for 4 years. But I've been with him for 2 of those 4 years, you know.
How you doing, Stevie?
Pretty good, yourself?
Got a nice-looking girlfriend? Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful.
She's saying that you're cheating.
She's always saying I'm cheating on her.
She says, even if you cheated one time, I'm keeping him. I understand it's a mistake, so even if you cheated one time, I want to stay with him.
Right. Every single time that I do something,
Like
I'm
what?
cheating.
Like what?
I go to work, I'm cheating. I'm 5 minutes late coming home, I'm cheating.
She says that she finds a pair of women's panties in there, and you tell her they're hers, and she says they're not hers.
She buys a bunch of lingerie, the whole 9 yards. Leaves it in the car, I brought it in the next day. She goes back out to the car, finds a pair. Comes back out and she says, these aren't mine. And I said, Julie, you just bought them a couple of days ago. It all boils down to the fact.
Wouldn't a woman know what panties she bought 2 days before?
It all boils down to the fact that I come in from work that day, and she didn't want me to be at work. She wanted something to argue about, and that was the only thing she could find to argue about.
If you're a guy and you're with a woman and you're not using condoms with her, there's really no point to have the condoms.
That's just what was in the car at the time.
What guys believe in that story? What women's believe in that story? Have you ever cheated on her?
No,
Never.
never.
She says you haven't had sex with her for like a month.
The reason I haven't had sex with her for about a month is because every time that she lays down on me, she'll holler, oh, you smell like another girl. No.
And why do you smell like another girl when
No.
you come home?
I smell like I've worked all day. I've sweated. You know how it is. I'm a stockman at a grocery store. You're going to sweat. You're lifting 50 and 60-pound bags of dog food all day.
You're kind of making her sound crazy, right?
Me and everybody else.
I want to know. I want to know the truth.
I've told you the truth.
I want to know the truth.
Everything's going to stop.
Everything's going to come out here today.
You're either going to stop with the accusing, you're going to stop with you're not going to work, the text messages.
I want to know. I want
the
answers.
calling my boss is going to stop. I promise you that.
Yeah, you're right. It is going to
The
stop.
threatening me with my daughter, you're not going to see your daughter, you're not going to do this. It might take a couple of months, but I promise you, I will see my daughter.
And he says, you're the crazy one. You won't let him work. You don't want him to work 40 hours a week.
That's the thing. He says he worked 48 hours. He was gone a lot longer than that.
Just because you don't write it down
But you want him to work, right?
Oh, yeah. I want him to work and supply for his family.
And you're
That's
not
not the
calling
problem.
me to
harassing
work when you
his
need
work
money.
all the time?
Yeah,
That's
I do
it.
call work, but you know why? To make sure he's there.
You call and tell my boss to screw off to find out if I'm there. You call and cuss my assistant manager out to find out if I'm there.
No,
to
I
find
don't-
out if I'm there.
I do
you
that
send
bec-
your friends to look and check on me. How many times have I checked on you? I
None.
trust you.
I'm
That's
home.
the difference.
I'm home with your kid all day.
And bitching about it every single day. How come every time I ask you to let's go pay on your divorce, there's a reason why? Are you looking for something to fall back on?
The reason we can't pay for the divorce,
Why
your
did
baby
you-
has to
Well,
have
let me-
diapers every day. Your
Exactly.
baby has to have
That's
diapers,
why I have
wipes,
to
food.
work. I have to work. You
Well,
never
then
bitched
work
at you.
and quit all day.
Besides you. You know, you threw my clothes out, knowing
Yeah.
that I don't have a whole
Hell
lot.
yeah, I
Poured
threw
gas
his
on
clothes out. You're
poured
right.
gas on them because I want to go out maybe with a friend for a
Did you
night.
pour gas on his clothes?
Yeah, I
Pours
did.
gas on my clothes, throws my clothes out in the snow, the whole 9
mean-
yards. I pay the cell phone bill.
Why stay with her then?
Because I love her. All I want is things to be back like they were when we first got together. I couldn't have asked for any better. I said, even if I hadn't cheated on her, could she blame me? With the way she puts me through, I'm not allowed to work. I'm not allowed, if I go see my she wants to fight with my every day. My doesn't take good care of the baby
She's
because
giving you a free pass for one.
I've never cheated on her. Never kissed another girl, never slept with another girl, the whole 9 yards since we've been together.
Julie, you were asked, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than Stevie in the past 2 years? You guys have been together? You answered no. Have you ever had sexual contact with anyone other than Stevie in the past 2 years? And you answered no. And the results are that you told the truth. Stevie, you were asked, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman in the 2 years that you've been with Julie? You answered no. Have you had sexual contact with any other woman in the past 2 years besides Julie? You answered no. Have you had sexual intercourse with more than 3 women in the past 2 years besides Julie? You answered no. Have you had sexual contact with more than 5 women? See, raising the bar here. Have you had sexual contact with more than 5 women in the past 2 years besides Julie? And you answered no. And the results for Stevie's lie detector test is that you did not tell the truth.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I want to know who it is. I want to know who it is.
How can you blame me, Julie?
How
Like
can I blame
said,
you? You
can't
have a
wa-
family with me.
Exactly,
Not
but I'm
with all
trying to,
these
but
other
I'm
bitches.
trying to support and you won't let me. What do you do, Julie?
I want.
What
I
do you
want to
do
know
when all I try to do is
Don't-
support my family?
Well, you said out there that you never even kissed another
Exactly.
woman.
Exactly.
Anger does a lot, Steve. Just like I said, when you get bitched at for everything you do, what are you supposed to do?
I'm not telling you what you should do or what you shouldn't do, but, you know, if you're so angry at her, if you're so unhappy with her that you're going out to be with somebody else because you're so unhappy with her, that's kind of my point. Why don't you just leave then? She's been saying, you've been with somebody else. You haven't been intimate with her. You haven't been showing her love. That's kind of the point there. Now you come out and you
It's
say,
hard to be intimate, though, when you fight from the time you come in to the time you go to bed.
well, it's probably hard to be intimate if you've been out sleeping with other people and then you come home, you're exhausted.
Exactly.
Just like I said, one time, that was it.
I think the lie detector proves more than that.
Well, I know you're going to say one time because she's going to give you the pass for one time, but it says more than 5. Not
More than
intercourse,
5.
but sexual contact.
That's not true.
Well, how many was it?
One.
One.
That was it.
Sticking to that one, huh?
No, actually, there was one.
Oh.
One that I slept
Now the
with,
truth comes
2
out.
that I had sexual contact with.
You went from, I never even kissed a girl, to I had sexual intercourse with 1 and I've had sexual contact with 2 others.
I want to work it out. If you don't want to work it out, I understand that. But even if we work it out, nothing changes. I made a mistake.
Yeah,
You've-
everything changes.
You've made plenty.
Everything changes.
You've made plenty of mistakes. We stayed
Everything
together.
You know what? Here's the deal. You don't seem very sorry that you were with these other women.
Not really.
What are you going to do?
He's going home on a separate plane.
Well, that'll be fine too. But
That's what's going
I
on.
promise you one thing.
Your
the
stuff
threat-
will be sitting on the porch, and they'll go this time.
Well, the
I
threatening me
promise.
with not seeing my daughter, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's 100% fine.
Well, you know what? I'll say this. No matter what happens between the two of you,
It's
you
not
really
going to,
need-
you know,
don't
it's not
let-
going to take it out on the kid. No.
That's right. You let him be a father, and you let him, you know,
Exactly.
help support his kid.
Exactly.